So, how's your morning chanting?
Yeah, very nice going on, bro.
Good, good. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so now the Excel sheet, what we explained about what actually happens with the soul, we will continue to discuss today because here in the topic, we discussed about the Lord being present as Paramatma in our hearts and how the actual life of ours is spanning, right? So that's what we will discuss now. Okay, so 21. And then what happens to our destiny? So we'll discuss that and then we will see the effects of Kali. What happens to effects of Kali on us? And then how one falls prey to that Kali. And then how his life is devastated. On the other hand, how a person who takes up devotion life, how he escapes the effects of Kali. So like that we will discuss and then we will conclude today's chapter. And in today's chapter, we'll also be ending the conversation. So now Parikshit Maharaj is having the conversation with Dharma, like the bull. What is the cause of you suffering? Why is that you lost three legs? The, the three legs of religiosity, what's the reason? Is it is it the cause of Kali coming and hitting you, or who's the cause of you losing your legs? Right? So that's the question he's asking. Because once he ascertains the cause of her suffering as Kali Purusha, then Parishit Maharaj was powerful enough to take the sword and kill or chop the head of Kali Purusha. That's what he was ready now. At that time, what happens? Dhara gave a completely different answer, right? Dharma told a completely different answer that Parishit Maharaj is bewildered with. And hence he's trying to ascertain the cause. Okay. Then after ascertaining the cause, he'll just talk to Kali to tell I'll chop your head. Kali will surrender. And then Parikshit Maharaj will give a place for Kali to live because he is the Kali Yuga, the Dharma of this age. Not Dharma of the age, the personified activity of this age. Right. So like that story goes on. So now what we shall do? We shall discuss our Excel sheet continuation. We'll discuss few slokas and then we'll go to the Excel sheet. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadadi Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sakagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jahatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To that Lord, let's offer our gratitude and obeisances and express our love by offering the first few prayers of Kunti Marani. Namashe Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alaksham Sharvabhutana Mantarbahiravastitam Maya Javanikachannam Agnyadokshajam Avyayam Na Lakshashe Modadrisha Nato Natya Daroyata Tata Paramahamsana Munina Mamalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidanartham Katam Pashe Mahistriyaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankajanaಭಾಯ Nama Pankaja Maline Nama Pankaja Netraya Namashe Pankajangraye Yate Cham Sakala Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Hridayante Yuge Yuge Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtanaha Hridayantastohi Abhadrani Vidunoti Sugratsatam. Okay, so now we will go ahead to read. So you are all aware of the current context, right? So what's the context here? Parikshit Maharaj is discussing with the cow, the bull, what is the cause of your suffering? He is trying to ascertain why is that the bull is suffering. Okay? Bull represents religiosity, and if the bull is suffering, that means religion has fallen. Why is religiosity important? Religiosity is the method by which one can establish his relationship with the Lord, the Supreme Creator. If religiosity doesn't exist, that means all methods, rules, and procedures that we have to establish a relationship with the Lord is also lost. It's like this. So, for example, I'm in an Thar desert. Okay, all four sides you see, there is only mud and sand. Or you take yourself in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. All directions I see only water. Okay, so if I have a compass, a direction setting compass, that means it will help me to get out of that Pacific Ocean and reach the shore. If I have the same compass, I can get out of Thar desert and reach a shore. So, like that, religiosity is a method by which one can connect to the Supreme Lord, take a shelter. If religiosity is lost, then it is very clear that all our relationship with the Lord, all the detailing, the methods, the procedures, everything is lost. So that's why religiosity is very important. And cow, the bull, they're representing religiosity. If the cow and bull is suffering, Parikshit Maharaj is very upset. Why? Because that is not good. It is going to cause a lot of difficulty for people in this world. So hence, Parikshit Maharaj wants to punish the person who is the cause of suffering to the bull and the cow. Now, things are going to get revealed now. As Dhara and Dharani are going to speak, you will see that they will tell it's not the cause as Kali Purusha. He is not the cause for me to suffer. There is something else. He is just an instrument. So, what is the cause? That's what she is going to reveal now. Okay, 17.21. Sutavacha evam dharma pravadatti sa samradvijasattamah samahitena manasa vikeda paryachastatam. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, O best among the Brahmanas, the Emperor Parikshit, thus hearing the personality of religion speak, the cow and the bull, was fully satisfied and without mistake or regret he gave his reply. Okay, so let's go to the next sloka, 22. Rajovacha dharmam bravashi dharmajna dharmoshi vrisharupadrik yat adharmakrita hastanam suchakashyapi tad bhavet. The king said, Oh, you are in the form of a bull. You know the truth of religion. and you're speaking according to the principles that the destination intended for the perpetrator of irreligious act is also intended for one who identifies the perpetrator. You are no other than the personality of religion. So he's asking, who's the cause of your suffering? Because your religiosity personified. So someone is trying to cut all aspects of religiosity. So who's that? The devotee's conclusion is that no one is directly responsible for being benefactor or mischief monger without the sanction of the Lord. You see, even though it is negative, even though it is wrong, that means irreligious act, but still Lord is sanctioning for that person to do. So we'll see, go back why. Therefore, he does not consider anyone to be directly responsible for such action. But in both cases, he takes it for granted that either the benefit or the loss is God sent. Thus, it is his grace. In case of benefit, we will all deny, oh, that it is God sent, because we'll take credit for our intelligence. Okay? But in case of loss, we will immediately find that Lord is at fault. Lord put him into difficulty. Lord is the cause of his difficulty. This is the concept of human beings. Okay? So, let's understand a most important factor. When someone is suffering, that means difficulty is induced on that person is also sanction of the Lord. When someone is enjoying, the happiness induced on that person is also sanctioned by the Lord. So that means in both scenarios, happiness and suffering. That means at all times, it is the Lord who's sanctioning. That means without the sanction of the Lord, without permission of the Lord, sadness and happiness cannot happen to one person. That is the most important factor. A devotee concludes. Okay. So now the bull is telling, since the Lord is the sanctioner and is sanctioning it through the three modes of material nature, Maya Shakti, so I cannot ascertain who's the real root cause. I cannot ascertain who's the real root cause. Okay. So now to understand this example. Now let's say I'm walking on the road. There is someone who came and stole money from my pocket. A pickpocket happened. Okay. Now, my general understanding is, see, this person is the thief. He is the one who stole the money. He must be arrested. Okay. But what the bull is saying here, no, he stole because the entire situation of the act of stealing was sanctioned by the Lord. What does that mean? I had to go through the difficulty of losing money, and that person was fulfilling his satisfaction, fulfilling his karmic reaction, and that also sanction of the Lord. So that means me losing money, him coming and cheating me, came together by the arrangement of the Lord. So now, should I say that person thief is the cause of the loss, financial loss now? Or should I say Maya Shakti? Or should I say Lord? Who's the cause of this effect now? So, the bull is not able to conclude that it is Kali Purusha who is the cause of the religiosity fall. Are you able to understand now? It's a very important phenomenon I explained.
No, Prabhu. Kindly explain little more, Prabhu.
Okay, which part you didn't understand?
Kali comes there, no, Prabhu. The other three I understood, but now Kali is entering, no? So Kali is the reason for all this, you said, no? Lastly, Prabhu, that kindly explain further little more, Prabhu. Maybe
I
I'll be
said
able.
Kali is not the reason.
Okay.
Okay, so now, but others, do you have anyone else has doubts like this?
Prabhu, so you said Maya Sakti or Lord or Kalipurusha. The 3 point you said, Prabhu. How this three is correlated?
Okay, so then let's do one thing. Let's go back to our Excel sheet then. Okay. Okay. A lot of you asked to send this Excel sheet. I couldn't send it for the reason I want to complete it. So then we can do it. That's why I didn't send it. Okay. So now we talked about Trigunas, we talked about pure love. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll take another sheet here. Okay. So now let's assume here is person 1. Okay. This is, then we have the Lord. Okay. Then we have person 2. Okay. So then we have the Maya. Okay. So these are the 4 actors we're talking about. Okay. Now person 1 got cheated of money. Okay. So are you able to see this?
Yes, Prabhu, we are able to see.
Okay. So person 1, he got cheated of money. Okay. Person 2, he stole the money. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
So what did Maya do? Maya made arrangement for person 1 and person 2 to meet. Okay. Maybe I should increase the size for you to see it better. Okay. Is it better now to see?
Yes, Prabhu.
So Maya made arrangement for the person to 1 and
Meet.
2. Okay. So when this meeting happened under the sanction of the Lord, Maya illusioned, or you can say instigated, person to
Steal.
perform the crime. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
So something that provoked in person 2's heart, he said, okay, see, I can see the wallet in person 1. It's very visible and he is not paying attention. It's a great chance for me. Even though I know the truth that stealing is wrong, but I'm getting an opportunity. So what does he do? He puts
Steals.
his hand on the wallet of person 1 and performs the crime. So who instigated him?
Maya.
How did Maya instigate him?
With the sanction of Lord.
Yes, sir.
Sanction of the Lord. Super.
Lord.
So now the act of stealing is sanctioned by the Lord.
Lord.
Okay. So now we can now think that, oh, even the person who stole the money, but he is not the criminal. Because what does the act of criminality says? It is not just the person who steals the money, but the person who provoked him to do that crime is also the culprit. So then Maya is the culprit. But if it is Maya the culprit, how do I hold Maya responsible? Because Maya says, I was sanctioned by the Lord. So Lord sanctioned the act of stealing. If Lord is handling the act of stealing, should I say Lord is the cause of this act? No. Why? The Lord simply fulfills desire of person.
2.
Person 2 wants to steal, wants to cheat. That is a propensity he possesses. So the Lord said, okay, you want to steal, you want to cheat, you want to commit crime. I will fulfill it. So Lord took the desire of person 2 unsanctioned. So you see, Lord is the benefactor of all the living entities in this world, be it good, bad, or whoever it may be it human beings or animals or birds or insect, whoever it may be. Lord is the benefactor. He's the one who performs the real act. But why did he do? Because person 2 desired. Okay, then why person 1? So person 1 was chosen as reactions to his
Past.
putative acts of past. Okay? So person one wanted to perform acts and wanted to enjoy the result of an act. And that result of the act was, in this case, that he need to be cheated of money. Right? So person one had potato mentality, person two had the desire to commit a crime. So both were brought by the sanction of the Lord under the an act of Maya. Okay?
Yes,
So now,
Prabhu.
who is the real cause of the problem here? So Tara is not able to ascertain. Now you could conclude, no. Person to decide, no, that's what is the cause. So why person to decide? Why person one decide like this? Okay? So this is what happens. So Kali Kali Purusha. Is so far clear for all of you?
Yes,
Anyone else?
Prabhu. Very clear, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So Kali Purusha. Now what Kali Purusha does? His goal is kill religiosity. Religiosity. He wants to kill religiosity. What is religiosity? Let's understand what is religion. Is a method or knowledge, I would say, for a human being or a living entity, I would say, to connect
Lord.
with God. So, what he says, okay, people connect with God using religious principles. When they perform religiosity with those principles, they can connect with God. When the connection is established between the living entity and the God, then what happens? He gets love of Godhead. He gets mercy. He gets everything. He can even go back home back to Godhead. So what Kali wants to do is trying to disconnect them. So what are the results of that? First result is forgetfulness. Forgetfulness of one's position. Okay? So this is the first thing that happens to someone. He forgets his one position. What is his position? That I am a servant of my Lord. And my duty is to serve him. That's his position. And he's forgetting that. Instead, what is he thinking? He's thinking, no. I am an enjoyer here. I am here to enjoy. So rather than attitude of service, he is enjoying the opposite. He is getting the opposite attitude of enjoyment. Now we'll see why. We'll see why is he getting that attitude. Okay. So far is clear. Forgetfulness of one's position.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Now let's go to next one. Then Kali introduces the concept of quarrel and disagreement. Kali introduces the concept of quarrel and disagreement. This is all Kali is what he's doing. No, actually I should put this here. Yeah. He introduces the concept of quarrel and disagreement. What does a quarrel and disagreement do? What does quarrel means what? Quarrel means fight. Disagreement means why you should tell and I should accept. And why I should tell you should accept. No. So when quarrel and disagreement become stronger, instead of we being collectively united, we get separated. We become individuals. We become independent. Why should I work with him? I'll be alone. So the independent nature will make people weak. It will single out people. When you become weaker, you're vulnerable. You can be killed. You can be attacked. You can be
Easily.
If you're united and strong, you cannot be. So now, for example, you see, Even 50 years back, joint families were very easily living together. 20, 30 people are living together in a house. Now today, even two people are not ready to live together. See how Kali is becoming powerful. Everyone, including women and men, they want to work, they want to have their own money, they want to have their own space so that they're not dependent on other. Why? They may think, oh, the others are exploiting, but this is the nature. See, we're becoming independent. Okay? Krishna says, if you want to surrender to me, surrender to my representative. Who's my representative? Your spiritual master. First, surrender to him. But we don't want to surrender to him. What's the meaning of don't surrender to him? I will not listen to whatever he says. I'll do whatever I want. I'll concoct my own ideas. I'll do whatever I want. So, among devotees also independent nature is coming. So, we have difficulties outside. We are not able to unite people. But at least let among the devotee community, let's be united. Why we should fight? And when we fight, we're giving opportunity for Maya Shakti and Kali to enter us. So we shall not. So that's why it is said, association and unity among devotees are very important. So how do I get unity and association? Let go. Why should I quarrel and disagree? I'll quarrel and disagree is what is happening around the world. But why shall I quarrel and disagree with a devotee? Because it will make me independent in nature. It will single me out. We cannot perform Sankirtan. We can just do Japa alone. That's all. No more Sankirtan. No more Sankirtan. What happens to this Yuga Dharma? So very dangerous. Okay. Is this clear now? What Kali is trying to do to us?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Now Kali makes arrangements to makes arrangements for this to happen. Okay, what sort of arrangement she does? He does. He induces thought of illicit sex. If I'm getting the illicit sex, that means what is illicit sex? Illicit means to have relationship outside of boundary conditions of family life. Okay, husband and wife. But I'll go have illicit sex with another person. So he induces thought of illicit sex and then makes places. You see, what is the concept of this? For example, you see many prostitution houses has come, many bars, many discotheques. All these places promote this. And look at the concept of living together. I will live together for some time, then I'll agree to marry him. All these things are illicit sex in different formats, and Kali is continuously giving that ideas and thoughts. And what is happening? We are falling prey to Kali. Okay, Kali itself is not making us to perform the sex, but Kali is giving that idea to us and making places for it. Oh, I can go to this place and enjoy it. What is that famous place in America where gambling? What is the place? Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
So you see, one entire city is created to perform these acts. I'm sure many Las Vegas are there throughout the world. Okay, then what does it do? It introduces consumption of liquor. Now, if you take statistics, you see liquor consumption in India is shooting through the roof. Everyone wants to drink. So Kali is making all opportunities and it is inducing such that people acquire taste and then go for it. So this is how Kali is making arrangements to break religiosity. Okay, is this clear now so far? What is the role? Okay. Now, why we fall prey to Kali? So now I'll talk about role of Maya. Okay. So Maya has three gunas. Okay. So we have three gunas and three influences: Adi Atmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika. So what does the role of Maya do? Maya, by continuously associating with a living entity, it induces the illusion. Okay. What's the first illusion Maya induces? Maya induces forgetfulness of Lord. How? So, for example, at some point in time, Krishna says that you fell down from the spiritual world. Okay? But I was a pure soul. In the spiritual world, I was a pure soul, but I fell down. Why we fell down? We'll not talk about it now because it's a different concept and theory. We'll talk it in a separate. So, once we fall down, we came into this material world and we associated with the three gunas. Okay? Now, until that point, I remember, I am part and parcel of the Lord. I am a servant of Lord. But I just came to visit this material world. Hey, how is it? Just like how we go visit, let's say we go to Singapore and say, hey, how Singapore is, how I want to explore. Like that, we visited this place. How is it? But when, for a long period of time, when the living entity comes in contact with the trigunas, then the forgetful nature of the Lord keeps on increasing. Yeah? So that's why, Jay and Vijay, when they fell down, they were asked whether do you want to forgetful the Lord, but come back at the end of three births, or remember the Lord and stay for seven births. So they said, no, we want to come as fast as possible because we don't want to stay in a place which continuously make me to forget the Lord. So that's very dangerous, right? So even Jai Vijay found the material world to be very dangerous. They didn't want to be present here for a longer period of time. But we, time immemorial, even though we are pure, because continuously we are associating with material energy, we get illusion. What is illusion? The first illusion is forgetfulness of the body. Okay? Then, rather than being a servant, we become enjoyer
Enjoy.
of the place. Okay? The material world manifested because of Krishna's energy. We read in Srimad Bhagavatham. Starting from Canto 2, you have explanations up to Canto 4. The material energy was manifested by the Lord. Both living entities, non-living entities, everything is energy of the Lord. We read that fully. That means, if the Lord is the one who controls this material world by His Shakti, how can I be the enjoyer, the controller of this place? Impossible. But Maya illusions me to become that. Okay? So we become enjoyer of this place. Ultimately, we try many ways to control this material world. So controlling this material world is how we try to go to the space, we try to do this, we try to many scientific research and things and try to see if we can control. But it is possible to control? No. It is just an illusion that we are thinking we can control, but we can never control this place. Okay, so this is what Maya is trying to do. So now imagine. Krishna says, let's go take this sloka. I'll take this sloka now. You're able to see the sloka?
No, Prabhu.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay, I'll share. Okay. So now Krishna says this sloka in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Now what he says, Daivihi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So I'm doing the reverse process now. See, the divine energy of mind says that Maya is also mind only, Krishna says. It's got three modes of nature, the three gunas. He says very difficult to overcome, very powerful it is. It makes you to keep on forgetting me and makes you to perform those acts of your individuality, your independence, your controlling nature, your enjoying nature. And you cannot overcome it at all. It's like a forest fire. It just takes you deeper and deeper. But, Krishna says, but those who surrender to me can cross beyond it. Okay, so now let's go back to this Excel sheet now. So now, the role of Maya is what? Forgetfulness of Lord, rather than being we are a servant, and then we're trying to control this material world. Now, let's say the Hare Krishna mantra. What happens to Hare Krishna mantra? In Hare Krishna mantra, we are telling, we are expressing the Lord, Lord, I am got caught in this material world. Please save me. I never want to forget you. I want to continue to establish my relationship with you. How do I establish my relationship with you? Please give me some service so that I'll do it for you, for your pleasure. When I do that service, I will remember you, I'll please you. So that's what we are asking. The Hare Krishna mantra chanting. The chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. So now, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is perfect in its devotion because, one, it makes me to remember the Lord and makes me to understand that please engage me in service. Hey, I'm not an enjoyer, I'm your servant. And third, it is telling the Lord, please make me to remember you at all times and making that connection established. So you see, the Hare Krishna mantra chanting is doing exactly what Maya does in reverse. Whatever Maya did to us, the Hare Krishna mantra chanting is doing reverse of that. It means undoing the effects
of Maya.
So that's why the Hare Krishna mantra is so powerful. We shall know the meaning, we shall know the purpose, and we shall chant. Now, while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, let's say we are chanting in a very inattentive manner, very callous manner, very improper manner, then what happens? The benefits of the Hare Krishna mantra is not received by us. Yes, we have chanted 16 rounds, we have chanted for so many years, but the benefit, what's the first benefit? The benefit is the benediction of the Lord has not been received by us. But we are thinking. So, what Maya does, she also illusions in your mind about, hey, it's okay to chant like that. It's okay to chant like this. Because she does not want you to realize the Lord through the chanting of the holy name. So, chanting is also an act of Maya. I mean, improper chanting is an act of Maya. So, we should be first cut this with the sword of knowledge. So, cut the illusion with the sword of knowledge. So once we have the knowledge with us, then I will know, no, I am a sadhaka. My duty is to chant the Hare Krishna mantra on a regular basis, but in a very humble, pleasing manner to the Lord. Thereby I attract the mercy of the Lord. Thereby I re-establish the lost connection to the Lord. So that is the purpose of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So when a devotee chants his chanting very regularly on a continuous basis, then he overcomes the ill effects of Maya on him. That's what the sloka also said. What is the sloka? Krishna says, Maya is so difficult you cannot overcome it, but he says, Mam eva ye prapadyante. One who surrender unto me can easily cross it. So this is the first step. When we are not illusioned, what happens to us? I'll go back to the goals of Kali. When we are not illusioned, then what happens? We understand, oh, this is my role. These are the principles of religiosity. And for example, places like clubs and bars, places like where illicit sex happens, places like gambling happens, and places like eating of meat eating on which happens. Oh, these are all the places where Kali is very prominent. If I go near it, it'll catch me. So devotees stay away. They prohibit this completely in their life. So by this, they have come out of the acts of Kali, they have come out of the illusions of Maya, and they practice devotion. This is what the devotees are doing. Now, what happens by do this? So now, let's come back to this person one, person to Lord, and the effect here. So a devotee is practicing nicely. Now, what is he desiring? What is the practice of devotion nicely? So devotion means, oh my Lord, I am very insignificant. I am not an enjoyer. My position is Jivere Swarupaya Nitya Krishna Das. My position is to serve you. I will keep serving you. And why am I serving? I'm not serving for my fruitative mentality. I'm serving for your own pleasure. If it's in that, then Lord says, oh, if that is your desire, I'll make that desire also happen. When a superior desire manifests, which is spiritual in nature, the inferior desire of material propensities like stealing, like fruitative mentality, they go away. Those reactions go away. And you see, we never into this position. So the Lord sanctions not the act of stealing, Lord sanctions the act of devotion in our heart. So then we become better sadhakas, better devotees, and then you see we lead a better life. That is the whole objective of this devotion service. Okay, so are we able to come to this conclusion as to the role of each of these things?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Very much,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Anyone else has questions, doubts about what we discussed?
Prabhu, that means there are person one, person two, Maya, Kali Purusha also. So totally four components are there, Prabhu.
And the Lord, 5.
And the Lord.
And the Lord 5 is Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, so now
Yes.
we shall do what? First, we shall develop faith on the Shastric knowledge and the instructions of the spiritual master. That is step number 1. That's why it says Shraddha is the first step in devotional service. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
So when there is faith, that means what? Oh, I believe all what the injunctions of the Shastras are. What they tell, I have to follow. If that mentality starts to us, then what happens? We are very clear. Oh, the Shastra is told, I cannot deviate. Bhagavad Gita is told, I cannot deviate. This is what I'll follow. So this is the effect of faith. Okay. Then, will I succeed in this? Yes, I have faith in the Lord. Lord will carry for me. How? Lord says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. The Lord says, I am residing as Paramatma in your heart. I will give you the direction to cross these steps one by one and reach the final destiny of divinity. So Lord says, Lord proves that. That means I have faith in the Lord. I have faith in the Lord's instruction, which is Shastra. So faith in the Lord means Lord and the spiritual master. Faith in the Lord injunction means the Shastra. So if I have faith, that means my devotion service has begun very strongly. So then what happens to my life? My life changes accordingly. Instead of associating with non-devotees, instead of going to places of non-devotion, instead of unwantedly wasting my time, I will associate with devotees. I will read scriptures that will keep enhancing my knowledge, and I will go places of devotion. And this will be my life. And this is the characteristics of a devotee. So one should take it up very strongly. Now, let's go back to Dhara and Dharani. What now with this knowledge, we'll go there now. Okay. So I'll share that screen. So now what the bull is telling, I don't know who's the real cause of the problem. Is it the people because they're desiring like this? They're desiring to enjoy what the Kali wants to, Kali is presenting, or the Kali himself. For example, even though Kali has created a place of gambling, if I don't have desire, I will never gamble. So Kali will go out of business. Correct? So when living entities or human beings, when they have adopted the dharma of Srimad Bhagavatam, when they are practicing religiosity nicely, why will Kali play a role at all? Hare Krishna, please mute. So if I'm practicing nicely, what is the role of Kali Purusha? There's no role of Kali Purusha. If I'm practicing devotion nicely, what's the role of Maya? There's no role of Maya. So now, it is not about just I practicing because I'll get influenced. Huh? If I am with my friends who are all smokers, but I'm pure, I am not smoke. But if I keep having friendship with them, living with them, I'll keep on getting influenced with such a situation. So similarly, when we are living in a society where society is full of living entities influenced by Kali, Maya, and attacked by Kali, how I can survive is very dangerous. It's like saying, I live in the forest happily. No, forest has a lot of animals. Today or tomorrow, they will come and attack us. So hence Prabhupada talked about congregational preaching. He said, if the society at large takes up this aspect of devotion, then you see Kali and Maya Shakti gets weakened. They cannot play the role like this. And that place becomes a place of Vaikuntha. So that is what the Mother Earth is coming to conclusion. Since the Lord energies are infinite, all these acts of wrong things are going to be very strong. So you have to have very strong sadhana in order to overcome the effects of Maya, because Maya is none other than the inferior energy of the Lord, the forgetful energy of the Lord. So it is not about just one day, Prabhu, I'll just go to temple today and everything is gone. No, our sadhana must be consistently strong for us to overcome the effects of Maya. That's why Prabhupada made so many festivals. You see, every month there's a festival. And every 15 days there's Ekadasi. And there are many, many small programs like Appearance Day, Disappearance Day, and all those things. So, festivals make us to associate. Festivals make us to remember the Lord more stronger. Festival opens the world of opportunities of services for us. So what we do? We use this to get new people and connect to the Lord. We make this opportunities wide open so that many people can take up the services and do this very nicely to the Lord. This is the clear act. Okay, so now you see how our Acharya is thinking so widely and making a structure as life of a devotee. Daily life, festival life, temple life, preaching life. He says, by being in this environment, you will never have the illusion for you. You'll always have full faith in the Lord and slowly, steadily reach the state of Nishta Bhakti, steady state devotional service with the Lord. That's it. Then the vehicle will move. Okay? So is it clear so far?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu.
So now if you read, this one sloka alone we will read, and then we'll go to 28. Okay? 17 or 24. Tapah swacham dayas satyam. Sorry, more down here. Yeah. Iti padaha krite kritaha adharmam saistrayo bhagna smaya sangha madaischava. In the age of Satya, truthfulness, your four legs were established by four principles of austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. That means in Satyuga, the bull had four legs. But it appears that three of your legs are broken due to rampant irreligion in the form of pride, lust, women, and intoxication. Huh? Because people acquired pride, lust, women, and intoxication, slowly the religious principles of the cow kept on breaking. And finally, from Satyuga to Kali Yuga, we saw that the three religiosities has gone, and the only one that is pending is the truthfulness, which will also break once the golden age comes to an end in Kali Yuga. That is the first 10,000 years. So the golden age starts from the day Lord Mahaprabhu manifested. And for 10,000 years it will remain. So once that golden age goes, then what happens? Even that fourth leg of truthfulness, that means religiosity will 100% fall away. No hope at all. When religion is fully fallen away, that means the word of God, the act of God consciousness, everything will be destroyed. Now, what will be the fate of this world? It will be very painful. Very painful. You cannot tolerate this. Hence, this place is not a good place for a gentleman to live. So what we should do? We should become good sadhakas, do our duties, prescribed duties in devotion very nicely, consistently, come back to Godhead. You may take many years before you go back to Godhead. So during this time, you become the messenger of the Lord. How do you become messenger of the Lord? This message that the Lord has given, we propagate to various people in this world. Make them also realize, hey, come out of this danger, make them devotees. And that's why preaching became the essence of this movement. Okay? So now, I want someone to read this yellow and the green alone. Can someone come forward?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. The Vedas warn us to go not to the darkness of ignorance, but to the progression path of light. The Lord Himself also warns that the deluding power of material energy is too powerful to overcome. But one who completely surrenders unto the Lord can easily do so. But to surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord is also not very easy. Such surrender is possible by persons of austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. These four principles of advanced civilization were remarkable features in the age of Satya. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. Can someone read the green?
Hare Krishna. Such strong men of character were competent enough to get away from the clutches of Maya. But gradually, as the basic principles of Brahmanical culture, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, became curtailed by proportionate development of pride, attachment for women, and intoxication, the path of salvation or the path of transcendental bliss retreated far, far away from human society. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. So now as Kali progresses, what happens? All these qualities of what? Pride, attachment, women, intoxication keeps on increasing. That's why you can see in your eyes what is happening to the society. What was there 10 years back? What was there 25 years back? What was there 50 years back? You can see how Kali has progressed. And as Kali becomes stronger and stronger, you will see the next stages, there will be fights at the country levels. Wars will happen much, much stronger. Okay. So the conclusion is the preaching of Bhagavatam principle automatically render all men austere, clean, both inside and outside, merciful to the suffering, and truthful in daily behavior. That is the way of correcting the flaws of human society, which are very prominently exhibited at the present moment. Okay, so Srimad Bhagavatam is a solution where religiosity, God consciousness can be re-established. Okay, so now he's asking. So she gave an indirect answer. Even though it is Kali, but I cannot ascertain Kali is the cause because people also got allured to enjoyment because of their illusion. And they perform the act of nonsense. So she concluded in that manner. So who's the cause of the problem? It is us. Okay. So now I'll go to the sloka number 28. So now in 28 you will see he is trying to take the sword and trying to tell Kali, hey, you were not the direct cause of it, but you were the one who instigated for people performing an act, so I'm going to kill you. So he's going to take the sword to kill. So we'll read 28. Iti dharmam mahim chaiva santvayitva maharataha nishatam adade kadgam kalaye adharma hetave. Maharaja Parikshit, who could fight 1,000 enemies single-handedly, thus pacified the percent of religion on the earth. That means he pacified the earth and the bull. Okay, don't worry, henceforth I am there, I'll take care of it. He took his sharp sword to kill the Kali Purusha, who's the cause of all ill religion. Right? What he did? Oh, if I kill Kali Purusha, then you will see people will not have opportunities and places and things like to perform wrong acts, and hence Dharma will be reinstated. He thought like that. So he took his sword to kill Kali Purusha. Then what happened in 29? When the person of Kali understood that the king was willing to kill him, he at once abandoned the dress of a king. So what's the dress of a king? King means position, opulent, pride, and all these things. He said, oh, if I take away this, if I'm without pride and things like that, the king will protect me. So he removed the king's dress, including the creed, the mukut, everything. What he did? He just surrendered to Parikshit. Right? He bowed his head, oh, please spare me. He told two things. One, this age is called Kali Yuga. It is by the will of the Lord that Kali Purusha is manifested here. Now, by killing me, the whole purpose of this age, you are reversing it. So you cannot kill me. Second, he said that because it's Kali Yuga, you have to give me some place to live. You determine where I should live. I will live somewhere. And whatever your rules and regulations are, I'll just follow. That was the power of Parikshit Maharaja, and Kali accepted that. So, Kali surrendered to Parikshit. Okay? So, because Kali surrendered to Parikshit Maharaj, it is said one of the dharma of warfare is. Now, let's say we had the great Mahabharata or Kauravas, Pandavas, they fought. Now, for example, let's say one soldier is trying to attack another soldier. But that soldier says, hey, I'm Nirayudapani. I am without any weapons. I'm surrendered. I don't want to fight. Then the other soldier cannot attack him. That is the rules of the war. So similarly, there are rules like if someone surrenders, for example, let's say Pandavas defeat Kauravas and then Kauravas said, hey, you know what, I don't want to get killed and anything like that, I'll show white flag. So they'll show white flag. Hey, I'm surrendered. Then the Pandavas cannot accept him. They have to take them in captivation. They cannot kill him. So similarly, here what Kali did, he was very intelligent. He immediately surrendered, removed all his pride, removed his dress of the king, and he said, I'm nothing, I'm just surrendering to you. He fell at the feet of Parikshit, and Parikshit cannot chop his head now. He said, okay, what do you want? That's what he asked. Okay, we'll read 30. Patitam padayor viraha kripayadina vatsalaha saranyo navadikcho slokya aham chedam hasan iva. Maharaj Parikshit was qualified to accept surrender and worthy of being sung in the history. That means anyone who surrenders, they will accept. So, for example, the best example you can give is Vibhishana. Vibhishana was the kingdom of Rakshasas. Right? He was the brother of Ravana. But when he surrendered, even though he is coming from a Asura family, Lord said, okay, you surrendered, I'll accept it. Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. That means Krishna is also in the same mode. He did not kill the poor surrendered fallen Kali, but smiled compassionately, for he was kind to the poor. So there's a reason why Parikshit Maharaj spared Kali Purusha. Okay? So now, Kali Purusha is spared. Then what will happen in Kali Yuga? Then why things are happening like this in Kali Yuga today? It's because of people. People's lust and desire and continuous association with Maya and not practicing any proper religiosity, they're falling prey to Kali Purusha. That is why the whole world is suffering today. Okay? You see, Rajo Vacha Nate Guda Kesha Yasho Dharma Dharanam Baddanjale Vai Vayam Asti Kinchit Na Vartitavyam Bhavata Katanchana Kshetra Madhyetvam Adharma Bandhu. The king said, we have inherited the fame of Arjuna. Therefore, since you have surrendered yourself with folded hands, you need not fear for your life. But you cannot remain in the kingdom, for you are a friend of irreligiosity. Okay? So now he says, this and Parikshit was ruling the entire world. So, here in this world, religiosity is never accepted because we are all God conscious. We keep Krishna, Vishnu in the center of our life and perform all the yajnas for the pleasure of Vishnu. So, there's no place for you in this world. So, that is the point he made. When he made that point, what Kali said? No, I need a place to live. You tell me where to live. Because I'm a religiosity, you tell me where to live. So Parishit Maharaj opened up the window. He said, okay, wherever people are lusty, people are not truthful, wherever people, are doing gambling, wherever people are doing this, people are doing that. Those are the places you can live. That is the sanction he gave to Kali Purusha. So that means Kali cannot live in a place of Vrindavanata. Kali cannot live in a place of, where devotion service is going on. So Kali has its own entity, and devotees can easily live without the effects of Kali Yuga by practice of devotion, by practice of being Krishna consciousness all the time. So these are the two facts of how Kali positions itself. Now in sloka number 32, if you see, Parikshit Maharaj says, if the personality of Kali religion is allowed to act as a man, god, or an executive head, certainly irreligious principles like greed, falsehood, robbery, incivility, treachery, misfortune, cheating, quarrel, and vanity will be abound. So wherever Kali is there, all these false qualities, wrong qualities will manifest. Or you can understand reverse also. Wherever there is greed, wherever there is robbery, wherever there is teaching propensity, treachery means making a plan to cheat him, right? Wherever there's misfortune, everything we can understand Kali Purusha is fully manifested. So either this way or that way, you will understand the situation very nicely. Okay? So is this clear? Position of Kali?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Now in the next sloka, so he just goes on says, I will go to not this, you can read these slokas. Now, okay, we'll go to 34th sloka. Yashmin Harer Bhagavan Ijyamana Ijyatma Murtir Yajatam Samtanoti Kaman Amogam Stira Jangamanam Antar Bahir Vayur Ivaish Atma. In all sacrificial ceremonies, although sometimes demigod is worshipped, the Supreme Personal Godhead is worshipped because he is the super soul of everyone and exists both inside and outside the air. Thus, it is he only who awards all welfare to the worshippers. Right? So it says that it is even sometimes seen that demigods like Indra and Chandra are worshipped and offered sacrificial awards. It may look like people are doing some demigod worship. But even in demigod worship, what the Shastra is telling is people invoke Hari first. Under the permission of Hari, they worship a particular demigod to get some benediction. And again conclude that as an offering to Hari and end the performance of the Dikya. So that means the role and the sanction of Lord Hari will happen even in worship of demigods. Right? So if you look at the sloka, Yepi anya devata bhakta ajante shraddhayanvitha tepi mameva kaunte ajante avidi purvakam. Now what Parishit Maharaj is telling us? Who will do such a worship of demigods? Who has fruited to mentality? Hey, I want some benediction, So worship a demigod. Demigod cannot give you moksha. If you want love of Godhead, you better worship your Supreme Lord personality directly. Than worshipping something indirectly. So he says that worship of demigods are also improper methods of worship. So people may think, oh, I'm doing a devotional life, things like that, but it is not properly done. So that's what he's explaining. So let's read this paragraph alone. Very, very interesting. Whatever a man may sacrifice to other gods, O son of Kunti, is rarely meant for me alone, but it is offered without true understanding. So proper devotee, what he will do? He will see the demigod in relation to the Lord. Oh, he is a servant of the Lord. He is come, and this is his position. This is my position, and this is what I'm doing. But a person with improper knowledge, he doesn't do that. He thinks that demigod is the supreme Lord and tries to build his relationship with that demigod. And that is what is the cause of concern. So hence he says, the fact is that the Supreme Lord is one without a second. There is no God other than the Lord himself. Thus the Supreme Lord is eternally transcendental to material creation. But there are many who worship the demigods like sun, moon, and Indra, who are material representatives of the Supreme Lord. These demigods are qualitative representation of the Supreme Lord. A learned scholar devotee who knows who he is, therefore he directly worships Supreme Lord and not diverted by the material and qualitative representations. Okay, so you see, importance of understanding the Shastric knowledge is very important. So then the worship can also be perfected. The worship can be made regular. So like that, he is giving clarity to each and every act of religiosity. Now, when a king is giving clarity on the every act of religiosity, the citizens will follow them very nicely and then ensure that the advent of Kali or advent of Maya Shakti is not illusioning them. Okay. So in the subsequent slokas, what we will do is we will read what is the position of Kali and where did Parikshit Maharaj allow him to reside and how Kali took advantage of that and killed Parikshit Maharaj himself. So we will read in the next class. Okay. So we will stop here for questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, fruitative mentality means the desires which we have. Am I right, Prabhu?
No, fruitative mentality means the Lord as sitting as Paramatma in the heart. Where does the Lord sit? So the Shastra says very simply, if you read the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada explains that the living entity sits beneath the heart. Beneath the heart means if there is a heart, he sits somewhere here like this. Okay. So next to the heart, next to the living entity, the soul, is the super soul, the Paramatma, which accompanies the soul. Now, the soul wants to perform act of devotion, perform some material activities, or perform something else, whatever it may be. Whatever he performs as an act, there will be a reaction. Okay? Whatever he does, the living entity, there will be a reaction to it. That's the point to conclude. So what is this super soul who's sitting next to him? Kshetrajna. Huh? He will just simply write down, oh, you did this act, and this is the result, for which you pay the price or you suffer. That's what he does. He just writes down. When the living entity desires to perform an act which is devotional in nature, there is no fruitative reaction to that. That is called a karma. Karma means action which has results. A karma means an action which has no results. Right? So that is the point. Now, for example, Arjuna performed the war. He fired a weapon and he killed an opponent. Did Arjuna want to fight the war? No. Then who told him to fight the war? Krishna told. He told him that he has prescribed duty, so I'm telling you to fight the war. So Arjuna fought the war to satisfy the desire of the Lord. So now when Arjuna killed an opponent, there's a reaction of murder, there's a creation of killing. But the reaction will not go to Arjuna, but it will go to the Lord. The Lord is beyond karma, so that it doesn't affect the Lord. So that becomes an activity which has no reaction. So that is not that. So that is called as a clean activity.
Akarma.
But there is an activity that is not told by the Lord. That is done for our own pleasure. So that results in fruits. That means you put a seed, a tree has grown, it produces fruits. So that results in fruits. The fruits may be malicious, tasty, or whatever it may be. If it is tasty and good, we enjoy. If it is malicious, it causes pain to us. That is called fruit atonement.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, thank you for making me understand where I stand, Prabhu. And now with your class, one more point I want to.
No, we'll give turns to others. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Can someone else take turns to ask you questions? No questions?
So, Prabhuji, you said actually the Parishit Maharaj sanctions Kali to few places where he can live, that eventually turned into Kali become powerful, and that led to even killing of Parishit Maharaj.
Yes. Yeah, tell me.
So that means actually it is applies to us also, right? Giving any lenience,
Yeah.
it will actually become so powerful and
Yes. No doubt about
nullify
it.
all our efforts.
Yeah. Don't think that, Prabhu, I'm chanting 16 rounds, so I'll just have a bottle of liquor. How does it matter? Anyway, I'm chanting 16 rounds. No. Even a small deviation from your practices will cause a lot of pain for you. That's why it is called not avoidance, it's prohibited. Prohibited means
Correct.
just stay away.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Under all conditions and circumstances. Yeah.
Understood, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Others? No questions today.
Hare Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Nanotnam.
Krishna.
Prabhuji, I just want to know, hence, all what I came to know, what is happening, it is with the permission of the Lord. So even though Parishit Maharaj is a great devotee and follower and from Arjuna and family, so how exactly Lord has given the permission to Kali? And even though the idea of given at the time to Parishit Maharaj to allow him to stay in such places also, by knowingly going forward, so much problem will be coming, and so much devotees will be suffer going forward. So what and all is the permission is happening, even though you are telling Maya will be acting and Kali Purusha, and that's all are God permissions only. So that is a lot of confusion. Prabhuji.
No, very simple. Why there's a confusion? For example, in the current age, which is called deteriorated age, the opportunity to practice devotion, go back home to God, it was continuously given in the previous ages. You and I failed to make use of this opportunity. So now opportunity window is very smaller. Okay. Within the small window, if you are focused, you can go back home to back to God. But we are not focused. We are again trying to go into enjoyment. Okay. So that's why Krishna made that in this time period, Kali to become stronger. Now, how Kali will become stronger? If Parikshit Maharaj is alive, he cannot. He will not allow Kali to do even one small thing. Then instead of Kali Yuga happening, it will become Satya Yuga. So then the 4 yugas of creation, that itself is turning topsy-turvy. So it cannot happen. One. Second, Krishna wanted Parikshit Maharaj to perform another character in his Leela, in another place. So he said, Parikshit, you've done what you need to do. So it's time that you come because you have another important assignment you have to practice. So he took Parikshit Maharaj to a different location. So these 2 situations, Lord arranged for Parikshit Maharaj to quit the world. And third, even though Bhagavatam is being mentioned in the Shastras as the ultimate Amala Puranam for someone to practice, people are not practicing. So Lord had to enact through the great soul Parikshit the importance of Bhagavatam and hearing Bhagavatam. And hence, he did not just, told Parikshit to just leave like that. He enacted the entire scenario where Sukadeva Goswami was able to deliver the details of Srimad Bhagavatam Parikshit so that all of us can hear. So this is how the whole enactment was done by the Lord. Even though Parikshit has left, but Lord has given us Srimad Bhagavatam. You take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Read every day. Read the principles. Read what is it told there. Follow that. You will see that Kali or Maya will never affect you. You lead a pure, happy life. The issue is, we are not taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, and hence we are suffering. And when we suffer, we keep pinpointing. No, this is the cause, that's the cause. So I did everything, still I'm suffering. So that is the issue. Is it clear, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
So take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. You will feel the presence of Lord in you. You will feel the presence of the great Acharya's mercy on you. You will never see effects of Kali. Okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, excellent. Any other questions? No? All good?
Thank you, Prabhu.
So I pray that we all should practice, become good sadhakas, practice nicely, chant nicely, perform our devotion service uninterruptedly on a regular basis, just to please the Lord and make this life as wonderful, sweet, devotional life. Go back to. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari.
Parubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Vaishnav Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Tat Sat. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Dandavat
Prabhu.
Pranam.
Dandavat
Prabhuji,
Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat
Dandavat Pranam,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam.
Krishna Prabhu, Pranam Prabhu.
Thank you. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, I'm ending the class here. Thank you.